5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Here you are. You're welcome to the Live with Neve show. It is Friday. It is 10 o'clock 01 on the east coast of North America. It is a beautiful day in New York. Kind of hot. It's a little sticky out there, sort of sultry, but I'm digging it. It's a lot better than snow in May, and that's a good thing. So, hope everybody's having a great week, and it's Friday finally. Hopefully you have some cool plans for the weekend. I've got some basic crazy news this morning. I've got our usual good news search, which we don't find much. But this is a scary story. We're back to the monkeypox stuff again. It appears that the dreaded monkeypox is returning. Let's see. There's clusters of infections in people vaccinated with the monkey virus. So remember, getting vaccinated is not always the thing that's going to keep you safe from the monkey virus. Yes, if you know anyone with monkey virus, give them a call. We'll have them on the show. We'll find out what the skinny is on it. If you end up scratching and picking or doing some kind of bug-like eating routine, God only knows. It's impossible to know. But let's see what else the big message is here. It's something they need to be aware of. They said they're not expecting a case of 30,000 in the U.S. and 87,000 globally. There is a monkey called the Genius, it's like genius, but with a J. Genius vaccine would last. Well, I have no idea, being a subgenius. Sex isn't the only way monkeypox can spread. Apparently, just hanging out with people in the same household, sharing a bed, hugging, any of that stuff. Keep out. Don't get close. So, how does the monkeypox virus work? We don't really know. It says it really doesn't appear to work, but it does reduce the severity of the disease. So I guess that's a cool thing. So if you're showing any signs of getting simian, getting weird, any of that kind of thing, well, I don't know what to tell you. But you can call us here and we'll get you in touch with the people at the CDC or somewhere. And let's see, now we've got, Tom Brady is in deep discussions to become owner of the LA Raiders. Now, that would be cool. I know a lot of people love to hate on that guy, but, he's got rid of his wife. That was kind of high maintenance situation. And, guy's got money out the tail. Why not? I mean, it's football as good as anybody alive. I think it's a great idea. That's kind of good news. And then this is some good news. I like this story. Okay, let's see here. The world's oldest dog has turned 31. His name is Bobby. This dog won't bite the dust. Oh, isn't that clever? This good old boy will host 100 fans and friends, including relatives from other countries, for a howling good time. And here is the lovely beast. Yes, indeed. He's a happy-looking spunker. Look at that. Hope that I live that long, in dog years. Let's see what else we've got. War is fun. So the Navy SEAL who went to Ukraine because he couldn't stop fighting. That's the kind of guys you want, man. Send them over there. I mean, why not? Let's see, and in bad news for the kids, I think, sexual intercourse, neither. Teens weigh on the evolving definitions and habits. For all of you boomers out there, just be glad we grew up in the 70s and 80s when things were fun and there was no video cameras and we didn't have all this texting stuff. So another good news, let's see, cord cutting. This is good. It's finally, cord cutting has reached its all-time high, and pay subscriptions are on their way down, including mine. I'm going to go ahead and cut the cord myself. I've just been busy doing other stuff. Anyhow, we will have Dave on in about 10 minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the news here. I know a lot of you out there have been wondering what's going on. I have had some health issues. Well, here's the deal. My face is still tingling. Feels like I've got a TENS unit on my cheek from about here over to the right side, and it's very uncomfortable. Bottom line is they don't know what it is, so I'm going in to have an MRI again, and I believe that will be occurring next week. Hopefully. I was supposed to have it done this week, but the insurance company was doing the usual jive policy insurance stuff. So let's see. We have had the Baptists are having a hard time. They're not doing well. They've shed 500,000 members. It's maybe that whole like we're going to kill women who have abortion thing. I don't know. Call me silly, but there's a lot of women in this country and the world who really don't need the Baptists telling them what to do. Although I respect you if you're Baptist and you choose not to partake in something like that, I get it. But, knock it off with all the hate and stuff. It's just not cool. Not good. Not good for anybody. So we got guys going to Ukraine. Oh, as New York's trying to bus out, Texas is busing them in. We've got record immigration. Here in New York, the ex-Marine has surrendered to the police to face a manslaughter charge in the New York City chokehold death. I'm just going to say I think that's ridiculous. The guy who he choked down has all kinds of drug history, and I guarantee when you do the autopsy, this guy had some kind of medical condition. I may be wrong. It's just my opinion. Remember, if you want to get pissy about it, this isn't the place to do it. Nor is it the week. Just not in the mood, but I think it's kind of stupid. The bot reveals the bizarre questions people ask ChatGPT. Let's see what's up with ChatGPT and what's happening with it. Downright strange questions. It's an enigmatic yet enthralling chatbot. Now, if you haven't toyed with it, yeah, okay, go away. Let's see. What are some of the strangest, weirdest questions? Thankfully, it also revealed to me that it does not answer questions that have criminal intent or are unethical. I do not have the ability to identify or report criminal behavior on my own. However, I'm programmed to adhere to ethical guidelines that prevent me from providing assistance or advice on how to commit illegal acts. If someone was asking me for help committing a crime or how to engage, I would not provide any assistance and would tell them to seek help from appropriate legal or medical professionals. I think that's just great. So how about these robot... Oh, here's some of the questions. Can you help me write a love letter to a tree? Now that is some kind of a, it isn't a DSM. There are people who actually like to actually pluke bark. I can't tell if it was some kind of a weird fetish thing or if it was just satire trolling, but that's out there. Then this story, these people are asking some great questions. Is it possible to train a hamster to play the guitar? What would happen if I tried to microwave a burrito while riding a unicycle? I don't know, man. You got me. I just got nothing, man. Can you write a rap about quantum mechanics? Now that I think is actually cool. Or would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? I don't know. What do you guys think? Anybody out there have an answer for that? I just don't know. I'd fight them all, man. It's just my theory. If you take a swing, well, let's party. What would happen if we put cats and dogs in charge of the government? Does anybody have any idea? I certainly don't. I think it can't be any worse than it is now. Might have to do a little more cleaning up on stage, but when politicians talk, we got to do that anyway. It's like having an elephant keeper when the presidential debates go on. It's just, God almighty, get out the shovel and the broom keeper. We ought to have like, I don't know, there ought to be sound effects when every time one of the guys drops a real turd, one of the people who's running for office just... Better yet, how about this, folks? I'm thinking the ideal presidential debate has a team of fact checkers. You got 6 Democrats, you got 6 Republicans, and you got 6 independents. And we all have shock collars. We can shock each other's people. Actually, we can shock everybody at once, too. I have the master override. I can shut everybody down. But during the debate, I'll run the debate, and we'll go, okay, President Trump, and I'll ask him this question. If he comes up with something really crazy that we know is not true, we'll buzz him. And, that'll be kind of fun, I think. In fact, let's see. I believe we have the proper tools to do this here live in the studio. Let me see. Yes, President Biden, where are we? Wrong answer. Okay, well, that was exciting. Okay, can you help me create a time machine? Now that is a great question for this thing. And then, if animals could talk, what would be the rudest? And then the really dumb question. Oh, these are some great ones. I have a phobia of spaghetti. What can I do to overcome it? Let's see what the answer to this one. I'm convinced that I'm living in a simulation. Is this possible? A long struggle to explain. Apparently, they say that information physics suggests that time and matter are not fundamental phenomena. Instead, the physical reality is fundamentally made up of bits of information from which our experience of time-space emerges. I can tell you, man, people on Earth here are eating mushrooms, seeing all kind of time-space vortex and shit like that. And don't tell them you heard it here, but. And there is the simulation hypothesis by philosopher Nick Bostrom. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm looking around here, seeing reach out to my guest. He'll be on in just a couple of minutes. Let's see what else we have here for good news. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just play a little music. Let's see what we got here. This is a friend of mine we had on the show a little while ago. I'm just going to play a little clip of him. Let you check this out. Let's see what happens. Oh, not it. Where is he? Open link in new tab. There we go.
That's right, we got Jimmy in the drum tonight.
Oh man, that's some good stuff. All right. That's some good stuff. Jimmy Lopez is just a badass, I gotta tell you. At any rate, we'll bring you right back. All right, we're gonna go take a quick break here, play some music and some ads for some of us to, pay a little money here on the thing. If you want to get an ad, they're really affordable and you'll like them. Here's some Carlton Wilkinson for you. He is an excellent professor of music who's got some really cool stuff. Check out his record here, and here he is. Carlton.
There's some changes headed like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island. can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been open in the restless shade. Poor man sagging cigarette takes the subway. Rich man folding old regrets steps on the rundown.
We are the Stones of Atlantis, and you are tuned in to Live with Me.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve or Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
I'm Neil from Live with Neve. We have an exciting connection for our veterans, country music fans, and there is something for everyone. Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. That's right, we've partnered with Gone Country Hats at GoneCountryHats.com. See you soon.
What's happening, man? How are you? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah. Yes, I
Great.
can.
I can hear you loud and clear now. So what's happening? How are you? Everybody, this is Dave Look. Man, the myth, the legend. Rock and roll guy, man. So what's happening? I've been listening to your records more. Really good stuff.
Thank you, man. Just swimming with sharks every day. You know, that's what I've kind of up to. Probably the same thing for you.
I'm
checking out the record.
I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit. Can you say that again?
I was just saying thank you for checking out the record. We've been swimming with sharks.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got a great record. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I was just sitting here before we went on and queued up a bit. You know, it's diverse in that it does definitely show you have a wide breadth of influences. I don't really have to go into them, but I'll let you tell me. What did you grow up listening to? What are your favorite stuff? What do you listen to? Hey, Gina and Toby, how are you, ladies? What's happening?
Morning, Gina and Toby.
Hey guys, actually, Toby, I'm sorry, go ahead. I got a hat for you, Toby. It's still sitting here in the box. I should have brought it to LA when I went out. I brought her a shirt, but damn it. Some people, Toby, I'll tell you. But go ahead, tell me. I didn't mean to cut you off, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you for having me, by the way. Always appreciative to be here. And good morning to your people. Man, everything's vintage, you know. It's a real retro record that you got in your ears, done by a retro producer. Intentional throwback sound, a little bit not overproduced purposefully, and so all my influences lay back in the past. You know, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. I mean, Ozzy.
Right.
I love Randy Rhoads. You know, the old Metallica, old Megadeth, old Metallica. You know, the roots of rock and metal. That's kind of where I come from.
Well, I've noticed you're very melodic compared to some metal. I mean, you know, there's all different styles that people like for whatever, you know. Some people like more of the Slayer type metal. Other people like Cannibal Corpse. Then there's the people who like, you know, Savaged from back in the 80s. Do you know those guys? Do you remember them?
Yes, I do. Hall of the Mountain King.
Yeah, man.
One of them died, I think. The guitar player maybe died young.
Yes, he did. He was great friends with my former guitar player, Jerry Outlaw. I can't really say he was my guitar player, but I hired him a lot. I'd get him to my studio, and I'd have a lot of songwriters coming through, And eventually, once they started, you get a good relationship with your producer, you kind of hang out and let him do things. Like I'd come home from a gig sometimes and put up something I was working on and just decompress. After 4 hours, I'd be sitting in the air-conditioned studio where it's like 40 degrees and just put up the music and crank it up and add things to it. But it's kind of the cool thing. So when you guys recorded, tell me about a little bit about process here for all of you musicians out there. What I mean is, like, did you track the drums and the rhythm section live and then overdub, or did you do it? What was your basic methodology, if you will?
All right, I'll drop that on you in about 10 seconds. But first, I want to comment on something that I heard you say previously, and I don't remember when, but it was recently. And you had said something to the effect that you're not the type of guy that likes to take the art and keep sifting over and over and over with it. You don't like to take it too far in the creative process yourself. And I'd like to say I remember that. I really like first and second take energy. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm real big on that. And I think the lightning, if it's gonna strike, it just comes through. So I like to grab it. Almost every guitar solo that is on all 6 of my records, nearly 95% of the guitar solos are first takes.
Excellent.
For real. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm good or anything, because
I respect that, because it's kind of when it happens, like you said, when the magic comes into the room and it just sparks up. I always say, just record it all, man. Keep that tape running, man. You never know, especially during a rehearsal. I've saved a track a time or two by cutting in one vocal that they did better in the
Yeah, I'm not really foolish with it. We won't let anything glaring go, obviously, but I battle my producers constantly to get that fresh, the earlier takes. They don't fight with me too much anymore about it, but they did, and I let small anomalies go just to capture that energy. There might be a little bump string. It's not gross. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a small human thing. At least a bot didn't do it.
Right.
I mean, unless these robots get clever and start putting in like human errors to fool us, that would be tough.
Well, with AI, man, you never know. It's like AI. If it's been trained poorly, it'll have garbage in, garbage out.
I mean,
in the future, it'll be interesting.
Yeah. If we can think of it quickly here in an interview under pressure, imagine what the guys in the think tanks can do sitting around not under pressure. So yeah, man, it's a spooky future for all creative people. We've got our writers on strike out there because the system is just effing them.
Oh man, you know what? It's really sad that the writers get screwed the worst of anybody, and they have so much to do with like anything that's green-lighted. It's a mess. It's like they said, I've always felt that the new boss is kind of worse than the old boss. Just the fact that they've devalued music down to it's like 0.003 cents per play just kind of bugs me. And it's kind of like they've taken one of the incentives. I don't know anybody who's really successful in the music business who just went into it and said, "Oh, I just want to be famous and rich." Almost everybody I know just grew up in rock and roll bands, but I'm an older guy, and I grew up with Led Zeppelin and The Who and all that good stuff. And it's different nowadays because there's so much material out there being thrown at the wall every day that it's incredibly hard. And I listen to probably 100 new bands a day that I just scan and look around for new bands to have on the show. And the thing I don't hear a lot of is originality. And I'm not kissing your ass here either, but I will say this, people, if you listen to this record, what he said earlier about it does have that 80s, 70s, it's got the crunch at times, it's got great melodies. All in all, it's just a great rock and roll record. And hell, while we're sitting here talking, you think you'd like to listen to some more?
Yeah, let's fire one off.
Yeah, let's get something rock and rolling here, man.
Which one are you going to roll with?
I'm going to go start it out with Raised on Rock and Roll.
Raised on Hollywood, okay. Cool.
Raised on Hollywood, I mean. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here trying to read while I'm talking. There we go.
It's the soul of America, man. This is a song that's got a real strong social message behind it if you could focus on the lyrics. It's about people who are bad parents. I mean, and I say that because not that they don't love their kids, but bad parenting is just sticking a screen in front of your young child and letting them have a seatbelt. Yeah.
Here we go, people. Crank it up. Smoke them if you got them.
Absolutely.
Listen to that, people. Oh man, that is a great tune. Holy cow. What do you think about that, people? I mean, to tell you, that is some good shit. Oh, hold on. All right, tell me a little bit about that next song, Dave, that was coming up.
Oh man, Psycho and You.
Yeah, I love that
That's one of my favorites.
Well,
Yeah,
we got about 3 minutes, so we're gonna just roll out. We'll play this up to the break, and we'll take break. And let's listen to some more rock and roll. It's better than me talking. Everybody, this is Dave. Dave Luck, raised on Hollywood. You want to get this record, you can go to YouTube, you can call Dave, you can call me. You got to get it. It's excellent. And you know, it's cheap, it's affordable. It's gluten-free, man. I mean, it's red-blooded meat and, you know, carbohydrates and all kinds of stuff that's good for you, contrary to what they tell you. You ever seen a healthy vegan? They all look like, man, a friend of mine was a drummer. He looked like he was going to die every time he played 4 hours. He was all bony and shit. I was like, man, you got to come on the Neil Van Erty tour, man. Get you out in the sun a little bit, get you eating some food, doing a little lifting. Got to get him pumped up, man. The guy was just low energy, as they'd say. It's like, come on, man, you're a drummer. You're supposed to be like, God damn, smack on those things. Eating too much goddamn granola, if you ask me.
Some people have all of the virtues I don't care about, and none of the vices I admire.
Yep, you know, my vices, I've gotten rid of them all. It's kind of boring. I've done them all. And the ones I liked, I have a few I still indulge in, but only allegedly. So, I don't know. Speaking of that,
I think that's a Roosevelt quote.
Yeah, you got to think about Roosevelt. After I saw Tom Hanks, I think it was, play Roosevelt, and the fact that he was diddling his wife's cousin or whatever it was, that was kind of like, what a family, man. You guys really, you know how to party, man. It's like partying Kennedy style.
Isn't that a powerful word, diddling?
It is, man. It's like, so, it's very visual word, isn't it? You think people, if you say, look at that guy, he looks like a diddler. It's like all of a sudden it changes the whole, I mean, I don't know, man, that's probably had a purient for 800 years from Old English, for God's sakes. Look at him, he's playing with himself. He's a bloody diddler. I could just hear that.
It sounds bad. Yeah,
it sounds awful.
Bad.
Here's
does.
another word. I'm going to ask anybody who's out there, answer this question. Do you know what the term frottage is or what a merkin is? Dave, you get 10 points if you can answer correctly, either one of those definitions.
Frottage
Frottage.
with a D or a T?
F. Frottage. Frottage.
Frottage. No.
It's something I like to do on the train. I like to do it on the subway here in New York. I find lots of new friends that way. Frottage is the art of rubbing your Johnson on somebody while standing behind him in a crowd.
Oh my God.
It's considered a form of buggery.
I did not know that one.
It's a form of buggery, and it's been around since the Middle Ages. So Shakespeare actually wrote a few lines about frottage. It just sounded like such a friendly word to me in Old English lit, man. I just had to, I learned things in high school, man. I don't know why, but it's kind of cool, you know. I had a friend of mine who almost got arrested for that once.
Yeah. Well,
what kind of people do you run with?
Somebody else. Hey, these days a Marine will choke you to death, so be careful. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, man. You've got to be careful. You offend somebody, man. You know, it's funny.
One of these days, we got all kind of guys.
About 5.
Still there,
No,
brother?
got it. Yeah, can you hear me all right? You're breaking up for a second. Well, I'm going to play a little more. We're going to play a little more psycho music here for everybody, peoples. Here we go. Some more Look. Take a look at Look.
Hello there, my name is Andreas Hellqvist, this is Daniel Olsson, and we're live with Neve and having a great time.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve, and I am having the best time of my life.
Live with Neve Fridays on the East Coast from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Like a melting flake of snow this year. I won't be sad to see it go.
Hi, I'm Darren F. Flynn, a singer-songwriter from Ireland, and I'm on Live with Neve.
I would have said it couldn't happen here. The people we
Hold on. Bring me and Dave back in. All right. So, we've got a song called Broken Angel. Tell me a little bit about the song.
Broken Angel, I did that one with Rich Green, used to drum for the Bullet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And Max Norman mixed and mastered that one. So I really like that one a lot. The theme behind that is it's almost a song written from the perspective it might not even be appropriate to write from, meaning that a man has done a bunch of damage to a woman. You know, he's broke her down in every way imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I mean, maybe even physically abused her. I'm not going to say, you know, I didn't write that into that, but we'll just say mental abuse is just as horrific.
Sure,
he's broken the angel and he's cast her away, and he notices as some time goes by, keeps an eye on what he broke, and from a distance, and he notices that she's still flying, man, with just one wing, you know.
Right.
And he's inspired by that, and like I said, it made it appropriate for him to be inspired by something that he broke himself, but it happened, and because that's real life, and so this is a very real life song. About a guy that hurt a lady and he's proud to death of her for not letting it stop her.
Gotcha. Well,
it's almost an apology.
It's happened.
I mean,
yeah. I sang this song for anybody I've ever heard out there. Say the same thing. It occasionally happens. Sorry, people. I am what I am. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh well, this is a good song.
You know, yeah, man.
Hey, listen, there ain't a person alive out there who doesn't have some form of regret for the way they might have acted on a previous occasion. You know, life goes on now. All right.
Yes, sir, it does. Just goes on differently.
Some of us are lucky, man.
Those of us above ground are.
That's right.
We can never lose sight of that.
Nope.
He's waiting to eat us every treat. You know, these sharks, they want us.
I love this song. It's one of the more heavy ones he did.
Yeah, that's Max Norman coming through on the production, making it sound like Megadeth.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we targeted the Megadeth sound a little bit on 5 of these songs. Max targeted a certain kind of retro Megadeth Countdown to Extinction type sound because he had worked with Megadeth, and me and him talked about it, and I was like, man, if you can make it sound in that direction, I'd be cool with that. And that's how it kind of ended up going.
Very cool. We got a friend here in the audience, Paul Bakash. This is another friend of mine from down south, Mr. Dave Look. This is his record. Paul's an excellent guitar player here in New Jersey.
Cool, Paul.
Yeah, he's a really
guitar player.
He's a cool guy.
I may need his services, Paul. Hit me up on Facebook, man.
Definitely. I'm going to be out on the road for a couple of months over the summer. I'm going to do a road managing gig for a friend of mine's book tour. I'm going to play just conga, set up a sound system, and do background noise and be the advanced guy. Easy gig.
His hype man. Yeah, that's what we call in hip-hop, the hype man.
Yep. I just go on and make sure they're getting off the bus. Come on, guys. Wake the fuck up. We're in the radio station. We got 5 interviews. Come on, motherfuckers, before I get the taser out.
You got the itinerary.
I got it ready, man. The man with the plan.
That's what's up, bro. Right on. No,
I love the
Max,
vocal
Max
sound.
blessed us working on this record. Yeah.
I like his transitions. He does a lot of really cool little ear candy in there.
Yeah, it's a headphone experience, man. Max made it nice.
Yeah. I listened to it upstairs on my stereo and turned the sub on because nobody was home next door, and thought good.
Yeah, it's got a good low end.
It definitely, he took care of like below 50 hertz, man. It thumps.
Yeah, I love the bass guitar on this.
I like the vocal, man.
The
You did a great job on the really nice, great vocal.
You know, that's an experimental vocal, man. That's a rock and roll experiment. That's putting yourself way on out there, you know, kind of like you could look real bad if people don't take to it, or you could be called pure genius, you know.
Oh, I think the vocals are just exceptional on that one.
It's man, people try to say I'm too Zappa-like.
Oh.
Well, I appreciate you understanding that. That's really great of you because, you know, hell, I just recently got smashed over at Warner Brothers, just shut down cold. I mean, like the lady was like,
yeah,
you know?
you mentioned something about
some
that.
Japanese A&R lady named Horaku or something like that, but she's a big timer, man. She's over the rock and roll. Yeah.
Well, you know, just because it's like A&R people.
Her name's Emi, EMI, like Horaku or something, you know.
Right.
You know, no hate. You know, I thanked her for her time. I mean, I was a gentleman about it. I mean,
of course. You never know when we're going to meet some of these schmucks again, believe me. Yeah. You know, they come and go, and they're like rats. They go from one nest to the other, you know. They run in packs. Somebody buys the record label. They all get fired. Oh, we want them all to succeed. I love seeing people succeed because it's so hard to do. And, you know, that's why I like, you know, my show is pretty simple, man. It's about bands that are busting their ass and showing the civilians kind of what they get to see of the rock and roll biz. Same thing with comedy or an artist when I have them on. Basically to show people something that'll keep them entertained for a while, just about something they might not know anything about, including like Fulu Muziki, this band that I got from Congo. I liked them because when I asked them to be on the show, they immediately tried to shake me down for some cash. And I said, I would do the same thing, man. These guys are out there in the middle of Congo, and they were like, how much money can we get? And I told them I'd give them $5, and they jumped at it. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. That would have been cruel.
That was generous of you.
I know, that's right. You're sitting here going, what a dick.
Who knows what $5 can do over there?
Well, that's my thing is if I was down there,
no, I'm thinking, I don't know what $5 can do over there.
$5 can get you a lot, man. They get you a woman for the night and a meal or two.
I mean,
maybe
that's
what we ought to do is just,
you know?
Man, I think I want to go over there and play some music. I have a friend of mine who plays bass with Weird Al, and he went to Africa for 2 years to Ghana. He did an ethnomusicology degree. The guy is a badass. I mean, whenever I talk to him, I'm reminded of how I'm just a drummer, and guys like him have like actual brains. Amazing mind on this guy for a bass player. I'm joking, but for all my bass player buddies, if I like you, you know it. I love you. And if I don't, I probably don't call you too often. What can I say? I have a couple of great bass players here in Jersey who just tear it up, and I'm a lucky guy. It's great if you got good people around you. Well, it's 10:44. I think we should listen to some more rock and roll.
I almost worked with Billy Sheehan on this record.
Oh, no kidding. That would have been great, man.
You know, hey, Nev, I had a commitment from Billy Sheehan.
Wow.
Yeah, his price range was a little bit high for what I could do, but he did make a commitment. And the song, listen, the song that he was impressed by was Broken Angel.
Very cool.
I swear to God, man.
That's great.
I'm just saying that because I talked to him about that girl that committed suicide, his girlfriend that killed herself, Savannah, the porn star. Remember?
Right. Oh, right.
You remember when Savannah shot herself in the head? Billy was with her at the time.
Oh man,
and
that's
so we had
brutal.
we had a time. Yeah, he was shooting a video for the Winery Dogs at the time. When we were talking, he was at the video shoot for later. Yeah, yeah. So we had Billy Sheehan, man. If I could have spent $400 on this, I could play on the track. But,
yeah, I know how that is.
There's just some history.
You know what they say? Genius works well with inheritance. You know, how many people are out there who they don't have any talent at all. I've met many in my life. They go out and they buy the whole PA, the stacks. And then they open up their guitar, and I sound like I'm better as a guitar player than they are, and I'm a drummer, and it's like really scary to me because, like my favorite guitar player I've used in decades, Jerry Outlaw from Tampa, Florida.
And they got an 18-wheeler.
I tell you what, the guy runs the Bogus Pomp, the best Frank Zappa tribute other than Dweezil's band by far. And they've gone to Germany and played like the whole Black Page and stuff. They're incredibly great. And Jerry was like, we'd get these songwriters in, and I'd just say to him, I go, look, man, I got Jerry coming over to record 2 or 3 other tracks this week. Why don't you let me, if you want him to play a couple of tracks for you, I'll produce them for you. And if you don't like them, well, you don't have to pay anything. If you do like them, of course, you just pay the time and his time. And it worked great because we just sit in there and tell you the truth. We basically just sit there all day, like bang through like 10 or 12 songwriters' demos. We'd smoke a joint and go, okay, let's go out, sit outside for a while and in the sunshine, get all nice and tan, go back inside the 40 degree air conditioning in Florida is necessary. But we just sit there all day, and you know, sometimes we'd sometimes like rearrange the song for somebody because he's such a good guitar player. He'd be like, look, I can just I'll track the whole rhythm thing. They wouldn't even know the difference, other it'll be right. And we'd do it, and then the artists would be like, wow, that was such a great idea. Who the hell is, man, this guy's badass. And I have to tell you, he really is. He's like, I give credit where it's due, man. Actually, he used to play in the Genitorturers. You remember those guys? You ever hear that band?
I do not, no.
Oh, man, you missed something back in the 80s in Tampa, boy. I'll tell you what. I once sent my old boss, a very nice Jewish guy who was out with his wife and brothers and sisters. He came down to my gig and asked me where he could go hear some dancing music. So I sent him down the street to the Ritz Theater where the Genitorturers were playing. And I can just say this, if you think about it, the band was run by a girl named Jen, who was like 6'2", blonde, statuesque, boobs the size of my head, just a gorgeous woman. And she had specialization in piercing people. So on the stage, they would have torture racks set up. And guys would go up there and get their nuts pierced and all kinds of stuff, and women would get their labia pierced, all kinds of crazy shit.
While they were performing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh. In fact, I'd tell anybody, man, you get front row there, you might bail out. I tell you what, I saw the show one time, and I saw something.
I wonder.
You have to go on YouTube and look at their shows. You'll blow your mind. I mean, literally, people who are out there. Paul Bakash, I tell you the same thing. You had never seen nothing like the Genitorturers. And my friend was great buddies with Mark Oliva, or John Oliva, the guitar player from Savatage. Really tight. They played together so good, and they were great friends. That's all I can say. Very cool people. So, Jerry, if you're out there, you are on a bunch of
piercing stuff on stage.
Oh man, it was crazy. And Jen had a bunch of piercings of unique varieties too. I mean, I got to tell you, I never saw anything like it. And my boss, poor guy, was lit a sheltered existence. And there I go. I sent him and his wife. Good thing she didn't have her service animal. They probably tried to pierce him, you know. People, I'm telling you, have no idea what heavy metal was like in Tampa back. Nowadays, there'd be health advisements.
There's some good rock clubs down there.
You know what it was, though? She was licensed as a piercing.
Jim Rose.
Oh, yeah, like Jim Rose Sideshow. That was some sick shit.
Well, I just wonder if Jim saw them and that was the inspiration for what he became.
I think he kind of did it before they did, perhaps. I'm not sure. That time period's a little murky for me. The 80s and 70s, I was not in my state of mind often. Like in the late 80s.
Jim didn't get big until 90.
Was it 90s? Okay. Well, you're much more of an aficionado.
On Lollapalooza.
Oh, right. That's goddamn. Yeah. It's weird. You know what? Well, time flies. Time flies. I feel like I'm 20. Wow. Well, very cool. Well, let's see what we got here. We're gonna play a little more.
You want to play Broken Angel for these folks?
Yeah. Let me cue it up.
Hell yeah.
Hang on.
I love it.
All right. I do too. Let's get to.
I think there's a cool guitar solo on this.
Yeah.
I like the lead guitar on this.
Oh, this is some other fucking band. Hold on. Get out of here.
Trying to sneak in on me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. There it is. I'm not this.
What was their name? Let's give them a shout anyway.
Arash.
Give them a shout, man. Show them some love.
Arash.
What was their name for trying to sneak in?
That's right there. Arash from God knows where, and they
Hi,
joined
Arash.
Arash. A-R-A-S-H. Here we go. Let's put them on. I hate it
Hey, man,
already.
they get a shout out.
I get a
What's up,
shout out,
Arash?
but you guys are great. Call me. Maybe I'll call you back. I don't know. Send the young lady over for a few weeks. See how she enjoys the charms of New York City.
The computer tried to sneak them in, man. We got to give them a shout.
I know exactly, man. I'm trying to get back into your zone here, where we have Broken Angel.
Fortune cookie. Man, I got a fortune over there. Should I grab it? Come on.
Absolutely.
Let's see what it says. Found it this morning.
Woo!
Hey, word of a lot.
How about it, peeps? That is a great tune, man. Jesus. Oh, hold on there. Memphis, where'd you go and come up here? My friend Memphis Brown is one bad motherfucker.
Oh, man, thanks, bro.
Oh, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on, dude. It really is. So what are you up to this weekend? You got anything going on?
The Memphis sound is awesome, dude. Hey, Neve.
Yeah.
Hey Nev, I found this fortune cookie.
All right. What's it say?
Yeah, I got some stuff going on, man. I'm working on an audio book with you. I'm working on the audio book with you that we're doing. We'll do a plug for the audio book. Crushing in Cancun will be coming out soon, starring Dave Look, and Neil Valerde will be voicing the gangster Mafia Don. Which is going to be great. But hey, Nev, check this out, man. I found this fortune cookie. So your fortune cookie flew across the screen earlier. So let's read a fortune.
Absolutely.
This is just some shit that jumped out of a kitchen drawer from like 10 years ago. You ready?
I'm ready.
See life through the eyes of a child, then you become truly wise. So one more time. See life through the eyes of a child, then you become truly wise. That's killer, man.
I like it.
You know,
I definitely like it.
I like that.
I think a lot of musicians have that knack of being able to tap into.
You can always get your spiritual food here with Nat.
Yeah, but to me, it's like creative people. They all kind of have all the good ones are a little weird, you know. Yeah. In my opinion, if they don't have a little edge to them, it's like they're not going to have the capacity to be an entertainer. I mean, you just never know what will be thrown at you. I still have no idea what will come down the road next time. I just wait to see what happens next, man. This life is great fun. I've seen some amazing things, I can tell you, when I write the book someday. I have seen it all. Starting with, you really do need to check out the Jenna Torturers. In fact, if you get interested, any of the guys in the band want to meet Jen in person, we'll see if we can track her down. I know. Look, remember this: if we can pay for it in New York City, it is not torture. So, for anybody out there who likes the tattooed thing or getting the piercings in odd places, I'm going to try and do that. Man. I'm going to have to call Jerry up and see if he's had any. I'm going to look on their page today. She would be great fun to have on, because let me tell you, those shows were insane, man. I mean, like, you can't even it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Although it's not quite as intense as some of the biker gigs I've been at. Those by far, I've seen the most amazing things that I've sworn never to tell. And people wouldn't believe it if I told them anyway. So all I can tell you is life is grand, man. A lot of people have broad diversity, knows how to party in different ways. And I don't know, I always seem to meet some interesting characters in this business.
Hell yeah.
You know? I remember some guys in Georgia, I could barely remember. I remember.
Want to know what makes that so interesting, Ned?
What's that? Oh.
What makes what you're saying so interesting is the fact that those bikers are rebels, man. They're rebellious. They're rebellious to the system.
Absolutely. And that's a good thing. Think about it. Anybody who's like 18, you'd be rebellious about all kinds of shit. I know I was. I wasn't getting laid enough, for one thing. That wasn't stopping me from trying. Okay, we've disappeared.
These days, 50-year-olds are rebellious.
These days, they seem remarkably confused.
These days, our generation's still rebellious, though, brother. We still carry the torch.
Oh, man, I had some kid call me a boomer. I said, yeah, we invented your cell phone, douchebag. I told him your mom came backstage at my show, and she gave me a hell of a time.
You're not old enough to be a boomer.
Yeah, man. Oh, I am. That kid, these young putzes I run into occasionally.
You're not old enough to be a baby boomer.
Yeah, a lot of these, I just feel bad for them, man. They miss out on all the fun stuff, like not having people cell phoning you all the time and videotaping when you're out getting lucky. From what this article says, they're not even hooking up anymore, which is like, I don't know. I'm a parent now, but I don't want the kids growing up not having a little fun, man. You got to do it before you get middle-aged like me. Or, you got to get all that shit out of your system. Otherwise, you'll end up like me, dancing with the Negroes at night. Just, playing music.
Hey, Neil.
Smoking marijuana.
Look at us accidentally. Hey, look at us accidentally bumping into the theme of Raised on Hollywood yet again. It's all right there. How virtual reality replaced reality too much. It's decades all ago. Part of my record. It's there. The same undercurrent. The cautioning. There is an answer if everybody wants to use it.
Well, you have to re-educate a lot of people to get them into the math and science curriculum. That'll help them with absolutes and thinking that everything's gray. Don't get me wrong, I'm a great negotiator and I see gray all the time, but some things are just easy to make black and white. It just makes it easier. What can I tell you? But at any rate, everybody, thank you for joining us. We're going to be back live at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'm waiting to see if my special guest has called in. If not,
absolutely.
And man, go out and buy this guy's record, people. You won't be sad. And tell him we sent you. So we're out of here, man. We'll see you next week. Take care.